www.chestrésor.com. Ooh. Is it me, Jackie, or did you turn the corner? You just lit like one day and you turn the corner. Jackie. Woo. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Basketball Wives. This is season 9, episode 4. Like I said, it just seems like Jackie just turned the corner on us like out of nowhere. We're going to talk about it, but let's start right here. Jen and Kristen had this little conversation. Jen and her negative Nancy thing, she's talking to Kristen. Kristen, like everybody kind of like picks up on Jen's stance right away and nobody's really on board for it. She literally ended up hanging up. She ended up hanging up on Jen. It's like, oh no. It's like, I think so far this season, it seems like, and it's only been a few days, Jen feels like an energy vampire. Is it just me? She feels like an energy vampire. Like everybody else is kind of seeming up to kind of have a good time. She's like an energy vampire. And when she got, first of all, because look, let's go back. At first, before they got there, OG seemed like she was kind of open to the possibility of reconciliation or just some type of understanding. When she got into Jen's presence, that energy seemed to come over OG, and OG just slipped into the realm of BS. Like, you're not, what happened? It's a whole different vibe. A whole different vibe with OG now. So, I don't know. But Jen is giving me very energy vampire. But like I said, Kristen ended up hanging up on baby. She gave her the old Kalika putty. Hung right on up on her. Jen was hanging, and they were saying, you know, or you're going to come on up to the house. Y'all can come up to the house like I came down the house or whatever. And I'm not coming up there. This, that, thing, and the other. They can go anywhere they want. I ain't go. What is all that? What is all that? Well, stay the hell on down there. Who cares? Nobody really cares, Jen. Stay your ass down there. And she's all hung up on a comment that Shawnee made from the reunion a year ago when she was saying, I'm not going on any more vacations with Jen. She hanging on. She just had to pull that piece. Then she hanging. Kristen hung up on her old ass. Clicked her right in her ear. Anyway. Now the girls up at the other house, they were talking to Liza. And they were telling her, you know, basically your kids are old enough to really manage their relationships with their dad. You don't really have to be a part of it anymore. And you could go ahead and move on because it seems like you haven't moved yourself on from Lamar, but Lamar has moved on from you. So you need to stop fooling with Lamar and let him and the children manage their own relationship. Now, I agree with that, but not as pertains to that money stuff. That money stuff is adult business. That should be handled by the adults. The children should not be going back and forth about no funding that was put together for them between their mother and their father back when they were babies. That's adult business. But the actual, she doesn't need to manage these they're young adults. You don't need to manage their relationship with their father anymore. So I agree. And as I was watching more, she does seem stuck. Like, you're never going to be able to move on. You ain't going to have no man or nothing, because do you think another man will be dealing with you while you sitting there fussing about Lamar? You might be blocking your own blessings and your own happiness. It's time to move on, sis, because Lamar done moved on. He done moved on. And that's why I was kind of laughing, like, how is his life making your life so miserable? Child, you should be looking on like we all looking on, like, that's some shit, ain't it? It been over. So I agree. Anyway, so down the other house, Jackie then invited 2 new girls. So we got 2 new girls who have come in. It's Nia and Noria. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Nia and Noria. And right away, Jackie called the girl Naraya. I don't think her name is Naraya. I think that's the, yeah, I think it's Nia and Noria. But they told their story about how their dad actually passed due to COVID complications and stuff like that. Very touching story. They're very pretty girls, really, really sharp. Um, they're sisters. They own a bakery business. Yeah, and their dad was only 58 years old. It was really, it was kind of a rough story. Uh, Noria is actually married to, I think she said married. She's either married or engaged to an ex, he's not an ex, he's a retired basketball player. He's an overseas player. So I kept saying, well, where did it come from? But yeah, one of them will be she's either going to be a basketball wife or she already is a basketball wife. Child, listen, I was half paying attention, y'all. Y'all leave it in the comments. Correct me, would you please? Thank you so much. Anyway, but I think it's Noria and Nia and Noria. But Jackie was like, Naraya, you going to be my Naraya. So you just, you know you saying her name wrong, but this is classic Jackie. You're a line stepper. Do you know that's one of the biggest pet peeves that people have is people saying their names wrong? And if it's Noria or Naraya, however it goes, nobody wants to be called by the wrong thing. They don't. They don't. They don't. And for you to just say, okay, I know I'm saying it wrong, but this is how I'm going to say it. That's rude. That's rude. You're too damn old for that. It's rude. Let me tell you what my first view of them. I think the Noria, the one that's married, or the one that's with the ball player, I think she's sweet. I think she is sweet, and I think she's pretty genuine. Her sister, I was just catching, and you know, it could be editing, but I'm just catching her sister, like when, or maybe one's just a better actress than the other. You know, because first of all, this is their first season. So you got to train yourself not to be looking at the cameras and stuff. You know, you got to basically, that's a skill set to actually maneuver and go around like the camera's not there actually watching you. But it just seemed more like the other one was really genuine in her interaction. And the sisters vary this. Like she's almost getting ready to laugh at different things that ain't really funny to them. And it's kind of like she's looking at them like, these bitches are ridiculous. That's what I get from her. I could be wrong, but that was my first impression of her. I see a little bit of an underlying bitch. Am I here for it? Absolutely. But I see you. I see you. That was my first impression of her. And that ain't bad. That ain't good, but that ain't bad. It's like, because I can say, where do you fit in at? Again, reality TV, you got to be bringing something. They ain't looking for sweet souls. They'll take one sweet soul and one bitch as a package, sure. And you're the one that ain't got a husband or ain't involved. But then I seen a little snippet. She really is involved. And it's really going to come to a head because the more we went forward, we're going to find out next week. She got a little something in the past with Phoebe's man. So I think my first impression of her, I said, you here to cause havoc. Come on, welcome, girl, welcome. Anyway, but we'll see. See, I'm jumping ahead. Anyhow, so let's move on. Evelyn called Jackie. This is where I was telling you all it seemed like she had turned the corner. Now, remember, Jackie's been gung-ho to make everybody happy, get everybody back together. She's so tired of it, all the fighting, and we should all just be one unit. We should be loving each other and this stuff. Evelyn called her. She gets the phone. She tells her, okay, you know, we come on up so you can have this conversation with Malaysia, and y'all can go ahead and get this thing together. And Jackie completely turned the corner and was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm ready yet. And now it's like now you want them to beg you. How you go from you was in the reconciliation space and now you acting like OG? They had the nerve to get off the phone and get to crying. I'm not really ready yet. And so for too much drama, Jackie. I was like, she made. I instantly got irritated with Jackie. Anyway, moving on. So down the other house, up at the other house, the girls, they get to play in this here truth or dare. And this was really all about Liza. They get drunk, they're doing shots and playing truth or dare, just kind of let her hair down and stuff. Child, so their truth or dare game, one of the categories was the prank call Jackie. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. And I think it's Malaysia. I think it was Malaysia behind that came up with this game. Her little janky little board and stuff. Child, Evelyn hits on the prank call Jackie. Baby, she calls Jackie on that phone, honey, and tells her, she said, Jackie? Jackie's like, yeah, who's this? She will say, Doug is in my, and now, and then she hangs up. Baby, when I tell you that Jackie was like, I said, oh, Jackie. Baby, Jackie don't play. When it come to that Doug, nobody want no Doug. Child, Jackie was mighty hot. I'm like, Jackie, do you really not trust Doug? Or is that just you just crazy? Is that your crazy kicking in? It was the funniest thing. And Evelyn was up there squalling. I said, Evelyn, that is so mean. Because you knew that was going to throw Jackie off her square. Baby, Jackie was instantly hot. Hot. She sure did. And said, Doug is in my right now. I said, oh, that was so dirty. Funny, but that was so dirty. Anyway, I think that ruined her night. She probably had to go to bed, child. She probably called that man and gave him the blues. Anyway, so they get to Liza. Maybe they was wearing Liza out with the game. Honey, they going to ask her when she's taking the dare questions. She was pleading the fifth like crazy, honey, because they asked her, have you ever licked Lamar's butthole? I was like, ooh. She's like, I'm pleading the fifth. Girl, I said yes. And they said, are you, being as though you're not getting any paintus right now, honey, are you licking clit when ain't nobody looking, honey? And she said, I'm pleading the fifth. I said, girl, that sounds like a yes. Then they asked her, honey, have you ever done a threesome? Well, I'm pleading the fifth. I said, girl, so you suck a butthole, clit, and doing threesomes? Work out, Miss Liza, honey. I said, girl, maybe this is why you can't let go of Lamar. Maybe Lamar done turned you out, honey, into what you are today. He made you who you are today. Girl, they got you all linked up, honey. You can't let it go. Can't let it go. All right, Miss Liza. Anyway, so that's that. So, that night, down at the other house, they're doing a whole dinner. And OG actually put it together. And she was like driving home this whole thing. I was like, what is this, child? This was done. This wasn't done for them. It was done for us. Okay, OG, we appreciate it, girl. It was the OG show. Because you just meeting these two girls. Oh, it's very important that I let them know about how proud I am of my blackness and the fact that I'm Nigerian. And I'm going to do a Nigeria that was for us. That wasn't for the two new people. Like, that was so corny sounding. Like, girl, they don't need no crash course in your background. And they just met you less than 12 hours ago. Like, whatever. But come on. I mean, let's give OG her moment. You know, you're a castmate. So you got to get your moment. And they worked it in. Because we've already, you know, every season we should have a situation where we learn something about OG's culture, because she's do that. She is a castmate. She's a main castmate. And we definitely should have a moment of her life, just like we do with everybody else's. Even if you like her or you don't like her. One thing, y'all know I ain't no OG fan, but I do enjoy the culture pieces. Like when they did the party and you seen, remember back last season when she did the party and it was kind of like empty, but the people that came in, you got to see. That's one thing about Nigeria, like African cultures, period. Their clothing, when you see them all together, they believe in, but you know, that's a black thing. They believe in getting sharp, shitty sharp, and they were. So it's always fun to see that when you see people of African descent and they come in and they do an event and you get to see them in their garb. So I always enjoy that, even though I don't care for OG. So she should have her moment, but that was just so corny how they threw that in there. It made her look kind of narcissistic. So I didn't like that. I didn't. I didn't like that. It did. It played bad against her with people that don't really care for her and her plight. It made her feel like she was trying to drive something home that is like, girl. But anyway, I'm interested to see the food and how the food. She looked like she did a really good job. She knows what she's doing in the kitchen, so that was interesting. She put everything together, and it was just her. She didn't have, because I would, if any other time, if her mom and stuff would have been around, I'd be like, child, OG ain't cook shit, honey. Her mama did that. But no, we seen her do it herself, and everything looked really good. She went back, put on her outfit, and she was all in tow, honey, and ready to go. But then they instantly start talking about this whole thing with Kristen. And I was like, uh-oh, okay, so OG has an audience. That's the first thing. Is it a good idea to take two people who have not met the rest of the group and just start piling all that shit onto them? Do you really do that in your real life? Because if I go to meet a group of people and the group is split, and I sit down with them and they start telling me all the shit about anybody, I can tell you about how close I'll allow you to get to me right away. What's up with y'all? And that's how I felt. But anyway, that's the first meeting. They ain't known each other 12 hours. So then she goes through that whole thing. I said, OG, she's steady going, running it down. Jennifer was saying something, Jennifer actually was trying to like roll it out like we're not coming down on them. We not shady bitches, you know. With like the girls, you like them and stuff like that. And OG was, no, girl, girl, they colorists and they just started. And I was like, and Jen was kind of trying to like stray her from it, you know. And the Nuria was like, she says, I understand about being a darker brown woman. And, you know, she told a story about her. And her and OG's story was very, very similar. She said, you know, I was the only black girl in the class, and the teacher sat me in a corner all year long. Now, that's horrible. But I was like, damn. So that was something from her childhood. Then we seen something that was very, very interesting. She told OG, she said to OG, because OG was like, you know, like she just don't want to understand. She is truly about, listen, this is colorist, that's colorist, blah, 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 blah. You need, and that her stance is, it basically is like she got some trauma. That's what we found out. She got some trauma that literally did stem all the way back to her childhood. And the thing is, I don't think OG has worked to get past the trauma. She's in it. It's a part of who she is. And she is adamant that no one's going to hurt her like that again. And what it is, I ain't got to try to understand you. You need to understand my point, and you need to bend to the way I want you to work with it. Well, that's not how the world works. Because there actually is some people, there are some folks who are really colorists, and they ain't going to bend. They ain't going to bend, girl. They going to try to hurt your feelings. And if they see you got a weak spot, they going to come for you. And then there's some people who will bend and say, you know what, we'll tiptoe around you, being as though we kind of understand you had a couple of issues. We'll tiptoe around you. And there's some people that will say, girl, I really like you, but whore, I ain't tiptoeing around you. You better pull yourself together, and you're going to meet more people like that. Because ain't nobody got time. Everybody grown, everybody got something. Everybody got something. Something happened to everybody in their life. And at a point, you do have to understand it. And I know people say, I'm dark skinned and I'm gay. I don't come out here and expect, everybody doesn't think that me being gay is acceptable. Everybody doesn't think that me being gay is okay. Everybody ain't cool with the fact that I'm gay. And guess what? That's their Pennsylvania privilege. They don't have to think that it's great. Now, what they can't do is disrespect me and make me feel no kind of way. You can't make me feel no kind of way about me being gay. And I won't even allow you to try to make me feel no kind of way. But I'm not going to beat you down to the point until you say, okay, yes, gay is great. Okay, gay is great. I'm not going to do that because that's not how the world works. The world is going to keep on turning even if you stand still. If you stand still, and the world is going to keep on turning, and eventually you'll realize you turning right along with it, but you're not having a good time with like everybody else. Miss Thing, you need some help. You do. And I ain't saying like she's crazy or not, but she can move forward from out of the. Okay, let me go. OG started telling the story of her being in school. She said, I was in school and a teacher told her that you're never going to be anything because you're black. Okay. Okay. How many of you all out here have heard the very same types of things? You ain't going to be nothing because you fat. You ain't going to be nothing because you black. You gay. Ain't nobody going to accept you. Everybody got some shit. Everybody got something that the world don't see. You too damn short. You won't never be nothing. Ain't nobody gonna never look at you and desire you because you short. Life is about being tall. Oh, won't nobody like you because you got light eyes. Oh, no, they won't like you because you got dark eyes. Everybody has had something about them attacked, and they have to, as you grow, they have to work with that, deal with that, and move forward. And OG is no different. And if you can't do it by yourself, there are people who could actually help you do it. There's no reason why she can't get some help. But in that moment, there's some issues with OG, and they stem back real far. And I thought that Noria, she said to her, she said, people don't know sometimes. As far as like the colorism issue, sometimes there are people that aren't trying to be mean, nasty to you. People don't know that they actually are colorists or making colorist statements and how, bad that is. And once you make them aware of it, it'll change them. But, you can't go through life believing that everybody is completely aware and that everybody is really being malicious. Some people just are not aware. Some people are not aware. She wasn't receptive to that at all. And I thought that made all the sense in the world. It made all the sense in the world. And Nuria has moved on, and she's, you can tell that she wasn't happy about what had happened when she was earlier on as a young woman. But she was a young girl at the time. She wasn't happy with it, but she hasn't let it stunt her growth. She's come through and she's okay. It got so bad to the point that OG actually started crying. And it was like, no, we're all adults. Yeah, we're all adults, but our maturity levels and our maturity and also our knowledge levels are like this. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. We ain't the same. She got mad and she got upset. She started crying, and then she walked off. And I think Jackie's pretty tired of it. I think Jen's pretty tired of it. Nuria actually got up she don't even know her. She don't even know her. She got up and went to the door. And I felt kind of bad for OG because it wasn't fake. It wasn't put on. She wasn't acting. That baby was really hurt. She was hurt. And when she approached that, she was really hurt. This is the first time that I've actually sat and said, well, damn, OG. Okay, so no, girl. You ain't putting 20 on 10. I'll give you that, sis. You ain't putting 20 on 10. It's 15. You put 15 on the 10, but not 20 on 10. There really is some issues. There really is some issues. And, I'm big enough to say I've been wrong about some things about OG. And I do need to break back a little bit. There's some stuff that's unresolved about OG. And that child was hurt. She was hurt. Now, she's still putting 15 on 20 now. Or 15 on 10. She's still doing a little bit. But It ain't all put on. It ain't all for show. There really is some issues. And like I said, I'm big enough to say in some of these instances, I've been wrong. I've been riding her a little too hard. A little bit too hard. Now, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to take back what I said. I'm not colorist. I have no color issues. You know, I don't. I don't have any color issues. And the fact of the matter is, when it comes to looks, she is not attractive to me, and it has nothing to do with her color. So I'm not taking any of that back. But I will say that there have been times when I've gone hard on OG about her behavior and where I felt like she was putting on and that it wasn't an issue. She was just really just trying to amp it up. No, I'm a little wrong about that. There's some deeper issues with OG that need to be addressed. And like I said, I'm man enough to say, yeah, James, you went a little hard on the lady, you know, for that. You know, some of our personality traits don't line up. But again, you know, childhood trauma is not a joke. It's not a joke, especially with people who can't get past it, because sometimes it gets even worse the older you go on. So I think she needs to see someone and try to move forward past that. There's some real issues, and I feel like I've been going on about this too long, so I'm going to leave it alone. But I did feel really bad for OG. That's something really, really bothering her. So yeah, still 15 on 20 though, or 15 on 10. However, y'all know what I mean. It's not 20 on 10. It's 15 on 10. She's putting on a little bit, but she does. She's hurt. The little girl inside of her is hurt and is not healed. That's what's going on. So let's move on. Anyway, yeah, everybody don't heal the same. They don't. Jackie and the girls is Jackie, Nuria, and Nia go up to the house. They go up to the house, and she's like, we were going to go up and I'm going to talk to Malaysia instead of, well, they came in, it was real uncomfortable. They came in, they greeted them with shots, and it was like, oh, come on, have a sit down. They're looking real good. Like I said, the two new girls, really, really sharp, really pretty girls. They really are. They're really pretty girls. But again, I sense a little bit of a bitch from Miss Nia. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, girl. It's all right. You look the part and everything, so it's cool. But she's sitting there and she's kind of just looking. And her sister was more open and seemed like she just meshed with the group real fast. The other one kind of was like, well, standoffish. I'm just looking at her, looking at them like, girl, they all right, but girl, these bitches. That's what I get from her. But they're sitting there and it was like you really could cut the tension with a knife, a butter knife. And Jackie and Malaysia sitting there, and Malaysia was like, okay, let's cut the bullshit. We're both grown women, and we were sisters at a time, so let's just get up and let's go ahead this conversation. So the two of them got up and moved out, and Jackie got her face cracked. Jackie came up there with a plan. She came up there with a plan. And you could see it all over her face. She was going to bulldoze Malaysia like she usually does. Okay, finally, she's ready to give in. I'm going to go up here and bulldoze Malaysia. Ain't no real big deal. I'm going to smooth it over. I'm going to bulldoze her down, smooth it over, and we're going to be back to where we be at, me and my Malaysia. Baby, she went up there, she says, okay, listen. I said, you my sister and all that. Hey, that Malaysia looked over at her and said, am I though, Jackie? Am I? Jackie's face was like, oh shit. Wait, I didn't think about this part. Now what? Where do I go from this? Baby, and then she led in and told her, how many times, Jackie? How many times do I have to let you fuck over me? She wasn't nasty. It was just to the point. Like, bitch, you are not get ready to bulldoze over me. We are going to address the issues, and either we are going to straighten it out, or bitch, I'm going to walk away from you. I said, oh, baby, Miss Jackie wasn't ready. Honey, Miss Jackie was giving. I said, girl, pick it up, Miss Jackie, pick it up. Pick it up, honey. She done cracked your face, girl. And the glass is falling on your blouse. Pick it up, honey. I said, oh, she cracked Jackie's face, honey. And you know, that's where we cut out for to be continued. Maybe that's gonna be good, good, good coming out. And it's serious. It ain't no nasty reading match or that. Just real shit. Girl, how many times? Like how many times we gonna do this? Cause I'm done. I said. Anyway, see y'all in the comments. I know we got a lot to talk about. I'm ready for it. Let's talk. But yeah, I can't wait to see the rest of this conversation with Miss Malaysia and Miss Jackie, honey. Close your mouth, Jackie, before you catch a fly. Y'all outside, girl. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.